way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they started their sim racing journey. I started trying them over the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at fegpc.net.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Makoni Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Makoni Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Makoni Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MakoniSetupShop.com and learn why Makoni Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome back here to PTN Racing TV, where we're live here tonight with the Super Late Models division of Alabama Racing League, as they are bringing it down, bringing it around town for your main event of the evening here on the show, powered by Green Tech Energy. To start this one off, let's see our grading order here tonight. A new name and year you have not seen before for the first time, but we'll get to that in just a minute. As the 84 Matthew Hoffer will rate him on down, and the lead is outside. It'll be Cindy Closer Taylor in the number 7. Number 2, Keith Checkmate Taylor, and the number 8 is outside. The number 5 is Chantel, the Throttle Bottle. Your final stars here tonight see Jeffrey Todd Tufts in the 72, is Chad Lancaster in the 22, and then finally in the back, the 48 making his debut on iRacing, that is Stanley Pottle. We are ready to go racing here tonight for the first time ever. How will this one shape up? How will this one play out? We're about to find out right now as the drivers get settled down, get ready to go here. Getting the drivers ready to go here, getting them situated up. Bring them down, bring them across, bring them in front, bring them in the back, bring it out and about. Let's get this one going, my friends. See the pace lights right now currently off on our end. We are going to go 2 laps around the track to get forward to this one here tonight. Tonight's race info powered by Green Tech Energy. We'll show you guys here what we got going on. This track, man, it is paper clip action short track madness at its finest. This is probably one of the toughest tracks these AAA model cars will have to run on all season long. And it's not because of just the track, but it's also because of what the drivers will do in certain scenarios, in certain situations. It's a one-line track. That's the best way I can explain it. That bottom line area play there, you can do side by side for a little bit, but if you don't get around to that green curve down there, it's no go, no say, no how, my friends. They are going to have to try to map this one in and put up a good fight here as they are bringing them around down out of turn 3 and 4. The closer, Cindy Taylor, looking to try to continue her season of dominance, trying to continue the points lead here. Matthew Hoffer trying to derail her and maybe stop it all, maybe have a chance at ending it in a good note. As the green flag flies on out, we're underway. Smooth, bridged off the corners there, out of the gate. The closer falls back just a little bit. The throttle moves in. Chantel now taking over for third as you see to the outside there. There is the number 8 of Keep Checkmate Taylor trying to get a run there on Matthew Hoffer immediately out of the gate. Maybe looking for an opportunity to sway in his favor there. One driver that has been swaying an opportunity for as of late is that 72, Jeffrey Todd Tufts. Last Sunday night's feature winner there in the Truck Series. Finally ending a curse and getting himself back into the top spot. His first time ever to taste victory there. He really had to work hard for that one. Had a lot of guys and gals that were trying to take him down, trying to outrank him on the fuel run, but it was not to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Walked away with the W there. Right now, Matthew Hoffer in the 84 having a little bit of company. As you see the old Lightning McQueen number 8 coming ever so closer to him. That's gotta be kind of creepy knowing that thing is just looking at you like that. That's got like a soulless eyes to it. Just like, I don't know what it is, but like McQueen's eyes on those things just look soulless and heartless. Like they're ready to just come and take you away whenever they get the chance. Jeffrey Todd Tufts right now, I think, is just trying to take a chance of possibly taking over a position or two here as they lead him in. We'll get a good look now at this number 48. The first time we've ever seen him on the show. His very first time racing in a league, much less. Stanley's going to have a lot of work to do around here. He's going to have to get this one figured out. More known for the road courses, I've been told from him, but he says that he's going to try to get these ovals down in a little bit too and see what happens. So, nevertheless, best of luck to Mr. Stanley there. Matthew Hoffer losing his position there as Keith Checkmate Taylor making a rounds about here. He makes the move in, gets a jump off it. Hoffer trying to get closer to Keith Checkmate Taylor yet again. It goes tape. Checkmate takes the race lead over. And to be honest with you, it's only really been him and Cindy the Closer Taylor this season that has just trained and battled well. But it looks like Hoffer's getting some openings here from Checkmate. He's really diving in too hard and not braking quickly as I think he should. Hoffer doing a much better job cornering in, and right now I think he's gonna realize what he done. Loses a position, might lose 2. He's going up high. That gives the 5 a shot. Chantel will move right in that corner line here. We'll go to the onboard camera. Trying to get that green state. Gonna get that green tech energy machine there, moving forward up to the positions. Cindy and Keith battle it out once again. No surprise here. We've seen and heard this one all too often before. But in this case, Cindy getting the better of her brother. Gotta believe Checkmate's not too happy about that. Chad and Lancaster falling way behind the field, having some troubles there. You get a good look at the pack right now, and everybody in their position, all trying to run their way through the field. 7 drivers clocked in here tonight. Unfortunately, a lot of them were a little bit busy or having some troubles getting onto the track here tonight, so we couldn't get a full season run in. The good news is we only have 100 laps to deal with tonight, so I guarantee the drivers will probably appreciate that more than anything. Checkmate getting a good run off of the 7. Cindy trying to defend her off. You know, Keith's not one to give up positions to anybody, much less family-wise. But when he made that bump in that little scenario there at a turn 1 and 2, where he gave up too much momentum to Hofford and then Chantel in turn 3 and 4, you know, that was really kind of his turning point for him. And I feel like ever since then he's having troubles. The throttle Chantel kind of lowering back just a little bit. Looks like the setup she's done here tonight looks like it's working okay. Hofford's just a little bit stronger out of the gate, but remember they do have to go into pit road at least once tonight. That fuel run will get them more than anything. Well, you can hear the motor screaming on Checkmate's car. That thing, yellow lighting around there, that means it is working to full max potential on the RPMs list. The 72, Jeffrey Todd Tuss trying to get up there a little bit closer to the gang. But it is not to be. Bobble there at a turn tour with the throttle. Chantel Bottle. 5 has to go a little wide here. She's going to open the door up for Cindy to possibly make a maneuver here. Very clean, I must say, so far from the drivers. I was not expecting that. I was expecting more of a kind of a beaten banging situation we usually see around here at Martinsville. This is pretty clean tonight. A little bit calm and under control. I'm very interested to know why that is. Also, I want to know where the heck is my boy Dustin Solnicker when I need him. Sparky not joining us here tonight. And I'm not sure. Maybe he's got a cold. Maybe he got the flu or illness. Or somehow he got COVID and contrastinated it around and spread it across wherever he lives. Either way, I don't have my Sparky here tonight, so I'm sorry, folks. Oh, look at this now. Cindy the Closer Taylor trying to get that old Cobra machine up ahead. That Ford Motorsports machine, the GT, is just firing all cylinders, but it's not making passes like they want them to. I gotta believe that is going to be playing a key factor into the role of throttle later. We'll see if she's able to hold her off and hold off the run that she possesses. Cindy the Closer Taylor knows what it takes to win. She's won here, I believe, more than 5 times so far this season, much less this year on PTM Racing TV. 1 here in the Pedal to the Metal Series, 1 in the Pushing Limits Racing League Series. Actually in the same cars too for Pushing Limits. She actually won at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway with those super late models. Said that was really the turning point where she started to realize like what she can do with these cars and what she can do with these machines. Ever since then, it's just been smooth sailing and really nothing to worry about there. Still in a bit of a pack here, a little bit of a battle and a half. Looks like there's a little bit of momentum build up around for Cindy the Closer Taylor because Keith making a pass around her there. Only about 20 laps in. Stanley getting a little bit loose off here. Slows down tremendously there. I'm kind of surprised no issues there. But I think there was one issue that cost Keith Checkmate Taylor a run at the line there with 7 of Cindy the Closer Taylor moving in. We knew lap traffic was going to be a bit of a headache for these guys and gals, but I didn't realize it would be this much for them. Unfortunately, Stanley Bottle has to go into pit road here. May have a little bit of damage that needs fixed up, or most so than ever. Chantel, the throttle bottle down, the number 5, Matt Mills Racing, Green Tech Energy, Fox Racing Machine trying to get up there to her. And you can see she's really having to charge that wheel around, really turning in hard and just hoping it'll stick. And I think she found one that will stick. Here we go, inside line. Hofford opens the door. He's going to leave it That line right there is how you make passes. That's how you make maneuvers. The 5 passes Hofford. Hofford loses it. Now it's going to be a battle between Hofford and Cindy. If all is said and done here, because Hofford is falling behind the waistline. I don't think he was expecting that full throttle assault run that Halloween 84 brought to the table. Talk about battle and a half here between these drivers. Everybody's still pacing around. Good lead changes when we see it. And so far, man, it's just been all around. Just keep her going, keep it stable, keep it down. Well, we'll see if it continues that way when we return here to P10 Racing TV. Right now, though, the throttle, Chantel Bottle has the race lead, leading into this one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's race has been brought to you in part by Maconey Setup Shop. If you need the fastest and baddest setups around, they only come from Maconey Setup Shop. Visit them up at their website, MaconeySetupShop.com, to find the right setup for your next race. By Matt Mills Racing Team. Matt Mills Racing Team is a proud supporter and help to, of course, Battle of the Miller Racing League. And if you want to help support the best Xfinity team out there, well, then show them a little love by going to their Facebook on Twitter and Instagram, and check out their merchandise on Facebook. A lot of cool shirts, to say the least, there. By Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts. Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts, supplying up the trophies for season champs this season. If you're looking to get the best hardware gift for your next race event, pick up them up at bobscustomtrophies.com. I said trophies, I did not lie. There is those trophies. They will be handed out, one to each of the winners of the season champs. And by simracingmerch.com. Perfect way to show your passion for sim racing. Back to the action here right now on the live queue here currently. About 30 ops in at the moment, and it is just pure dominance from the 5. One of the lone Canadians out here really just doing their thing and doing their stuff. Obviously, though, from the rock section of Canada, and she's definitely showing why she can rock everyone like nothing. Kind of surprised here right now that it's been kind of tame and under aggressive. A lot of these guys and gals, man, they're just kind of laying back, not really trying to make too big of maneuvers. How long will it be, though, before that starts to really clip in? You really start to think about trying to make those moves. We're going to go on board here with Hoffer, and you can see right there, I'm going to take a look at this. Watch that left tire as it corners in. Watch how hard it has to turn in just to make sure it can get a grip. And that was definitely not what he wanted to have happen there. Here comes Key Checkmate Taylor now on the inside line. Taylor checkmates his way ahead, now trying to put the Rusty's Medicaid bumper Moya Filu with the Lightning McQueen machine up to the 5 there. The throttle, though, still holds a good sized lead, almost about a second lead on the boys and girls. The Fury 72, Jeffrey Todd Tufts right now kind of falling behind a little bit. Not giving up too much, though, to the other drivers. He could catch up at any minute here if he gets that chance. Cindy Colder Taylor seems like she is slowing down a little bit here, a little bit more than I'm used to seeing her do. And she opens the door up indeed. Todd Tufts, man, he makes a big move on the inside. Cindy lost a little bit of ground there, lost a little bit of traction. I'm not sure if maybe she is trying to save up for the end or what is going on down there, but it is not working the way I think she was hoping for if the car is just not running right. Well, right now, Keith Checkmate has finally caught back up to the throttle. Chantel is losing a lot of ground and time in those corners, and right now, Keith just needs to move in the inside line, and he's going to pass her in. Catching up quickly. I'm not sure if maybe the throttle was just doing a little too much in those turns and just overdrove it into one of the walls or what happened, but you can see she is loose. Oh, and that rate of Checkmate just gets right into the rear bumper of the 5, man. He just drove it right in, almost took her for a ride, managing to stay away from that, but man, he drove that one in pretty quickly and came in pretty hard. I'm surprised it held line as well as it did there. Nevertheless, here still 5 of Chantel's trying to hold off Checkmate. Old Keith Taylor right now behind her. Definitely caught up in position, caught up on the run. And if we look at our lap times, we can figure out where that happened at. You can see about lap 30, lap 31, that's where everything started to change, started to move in the favor of Checkmate. Once he started to get that run, that was all he needed. Still no caution to be had here. Let's see how this one looked on our end here. Looks like Taylor will get a little bit of a lap or two. Not by much though. Chantel actually able to hold him off lap counter wise. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering this too now. With the way the 5's rolling, is she trying to serve the tires or trying to serve the fuel? Because there is a point in time where you got to be careful about that. But, you know, Checkmate's not exactly going to let up on that throttle if he ever has to. He'll do whatever he needs to here. In this case, to keep it going. Looks like Stanley Bottler is going to run into a little bit of lap traffic here and out of turn 4 here. Chad Lancaster catching up to him pretty quickly. Talk about another driver that definitely made a name for himself on a track that a lot of people weren't expecting the Super Late Models to be at. Texas Motor Speedway, man, he came away with the W there, holding on to a solid amount of competitors and a solid run there. And, you know, he told me about that earlier. He's like, yeah, it was nice to have, but I would like to get another one if I can someday. The only way to do it is to keep practicing and keep running out here and keep it going. Just about reached the halfway point here so far, though. It is currently the throttle. It is currently the Checkmate of our racing. If people wonder at home, where do these nicknames come from? Well, whoa, hold on a minute. Problems there for Stanley. There's problems down there. Big problems. Oh, my. It's Chantel and Keith both involved in that one. Stanley Pottle stopped on the infield. Oh, that's caution right there. And that was a huge wreck. Man, talk about a hard lick and a half there. What the heck happened to Stanley? We'll find out about the PTM instant replay here now on the show. Let's take a look at this one. It comes right out, brings it in out of turn 4. He drives it in too hard, spins it completely there. Then here's where trouble starts. You can see the smoke. Chantel has nowhere to go. She can't avoid it. Neither can Keith, and both drivers take a lick and a half. There's nowhere to go. Once you see that smoke, you don't know what's in front of you. That's the sad part about racing with these things, unfortunately. Any car, really, for that matter. And same with dirt. Once you get a dust bowl going, it's hard to see what's going on. Well, that'll pretty much go ahead and wrap out the first half of our race. No stage break here for this one. They're just going to go on from here, I bet. So, position-wise, Cindy the closer, Taylor stays out. So is Chad Lancaster. Chantel going in now, as well as Keith Checkmate and Matthew Hoffer and Todd Tufts. I gotta believe with Cindy though, her strategy is pretty simple. Stay out there as long as she can until she absolutely has to go into pit road, and then deal with the rest later. Might not be a bad idea in this case, but we'll see how that all plays out when we return here to PTM Racing TV. Tonight's race also presented in part by our good friends over at Grid Finder. If you need to find the best league, to find the best search by race day, and you need a geographical region figured out, a gaming platform, racing sim, and car class, well, there's no better way than to do it and to go with Grid Finder, the home of online racing. By the Butt Kicker, best in performance and feeling on the real tracks of the virtual world, the Butt Kicker, feel what you've been missing. By FEGPC.net, matching your want with your wallet. They will always work with your needs. Build the right PC at the right price. By Brandon Minnick Sim Racing. Be sure to go on over his iRacing page and check out his iRacing journey. Thank you again to Brandon Minnick for your support of Pedal to the Metal. And by Green Tech Energy. Leading the way in the natural solar company and Flare, Green Tech Energy is the natural choice. And right about now, the natural choice I would say for these drivers when they get back to the green flag is just to book it and hope for God that everything works out in the end. Still under caution here. Drivers currently getting situated back out. I think they're just trying to make sure everybody's back in line where they need to be here before we get to the green flag again. seems like this time by we will be going back to double file restarts here, so they'll get them all taken care of here and essentially weigh them down. It's going to be interesting to see and hear what will go down on the restart. Cindy the Close Taylor did not go into pit road, neither did Chad Lancaster here, folks, so that could end up being the big difference for all drivers involved, as well as everything that comes with it. Chantel, Throttle Pottle, and Key Checkmate Taylor were battling it hard off, those runs hard off earlier. Fuel run wise, they should be good to go, but will that last the whole time? That is the case. Bring them down around out of turn 3 into 4, looking for the green flag to come on out. The green is out. We're back underway. Cindy gonna try to get a good jump off that, but here comes the throttle. Chantel Bottle and Kate Checkmate Taylor on the inside there of Lancaster. Lancaster having to avoid trouble and back off. Cindy, whoo-hoo. I know Chantel was gonna put that front bumper to the rear like that, and now with the way she runs it here, she's going quick. She's coming in hard. Straight to the inside line. That's what fresh sets of tires will do around here for you. Cindy falls back majorly here, but I think she's thinking long-term strategy over everything else. Now it is Key Checkmate Taylor going to try to push the boundaries, push the limits, and see what happens here. Oh, the caution comes back out. We've got more problems down there. There's more problems. Oh, no, wait. I think actually that was a stage break. I think it was actually a stage break. Well, to be honest, I wasn't expecting to do a stage break when we were literally already kind of through a big chunk of that. So now I see what Cindy's strategy was. Now she'll head into pit road, and Chantel and Key Checkmate and Todd Tufts are going to go in there as well. So I'm going to be interested to see what happens here. But nevertheless, Key Checkmate Taylor decides to stay on now. He will give him a go in green. Will that last and able to survive? We'll find out more when we return.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in Irish. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back here on the show right now as we're currently getting settled back down around here. Currently, Stanley getting his lap back after the unfortunate issues there he had earlier on. Seems to get a little bit more control underneath his hood. Remember, he is just really like his first day on iRacing for sure, and he has never driven these things or never driven on Martinsville. All I can say is what a track to start on. It literally reminds me too much of starting back at Phoenix Raceway in the truck series, I believe it was, or might it? Yeah, I believe it was a truck series. All those years ago, those months ago, weeks, days, I still remember that first time. Boy, I was scared to death. I couldn't get out of my own. I couldn't get out of myself that day. But you know, come about, well, I think it was like 2 months. Only it was like 3 months later, and I got my very first career win in any kind of league or any kind of racing series at Phoenix, and that really was where everything changed and where everything has come to play. And who knows, maybe this is, to him, the track I call Phoenix, call my home. Maybe Martinsville is his place too once he figures it out. Well, the green flag flies back underway. We're back on live right now. Currently, the 5 put back behind with Todd Tufts. Matthew Hopper and Cindy the Coulter Taylor now moving their way through the field. Hopper trying to get up there with Cindy and Keith. Oh, big ruck to right inside there. Big hit, and Hopper takes out 2 for the price of 1. Hopper drove it in hard. He was trying to make a run for it. Unfortunately, the big wreck right there ends up crossing 2 drivers there. Lancaster losing a spot, and unfortunately, Lancaster losing a little bit of ground and momentum, as well as Lancaster having a little bit of troubles there as well. So that will set up the old PTM instant replay here now as we show you from another angle here. This is Chantel's rear end here. So left rear, you're going to see the reverse suspension. This is where everything kind of stopped on Hofferton. That was a little tag that got her and him spun around there, unfortunately. Here is what happened there on Hoffert's live feed cam. Here's the, I'm going to call it the crash cam at this point. That's what this track usually does. Yeah, that's all he did is just drive it right into that grass. Boy, you can hear him just slamming the motor there. If you're not careful, you can bust a ring and ping doing that, but he got off it just in time and managed to keep it going, so. Well, I guess I'll have to settle back down, try to get things figured out. It was a good first half. The second half looks like, though, it's going to be a little bit of a slower get-go. Interesting to see what happens here, what will be done with that. So as the drivers get settled back down, get things hopefully kind of taken care of here. The issues plaguing the drivers early on, wrecks happening from all fronts, crashing and bashing. Well, I was kind of predicting, and that's what kind of the title of this video probably got you thinking. This is not for the faintest of drivers. This is not a track you can have a little bit of a temper on. This is a track you need to be calm, focused, and collective about, because it's just going to happen. It will not do anything else but just give you headaches and give you problems if you continue to try to let this track do that to you. Hofford, I know, probably not too happy about that little spin there he had, unfortunately. Not intentional by any means. You saw it on the live feed. Went right into the grass. He was trying to get off there and couldn't brake hard enough, and unfortunately got Todd with him. And there they come back around. Looks like Chantel is going to take over the 4th spot. Matthew Hofford will have to stay where he's at. Lancaster, Todd Tufts, and Stanley Pottle will be there as well, so they will get them all settled down. I was going to go back to what I was saying earlier about how these drivers got their nicknames. I'll give you more about that in a minute. Here we go, though, right there out of turn 3 into 4. We're going to settle them down, pace them in, get the runs restarted up. Checkmate knows his sister is going to try to make a move on him early. Green flag flies. We've got 40 to go. Hoffert straight to the bottom immediately. The 5 right there with them. Cindy going to back off, let them run their race for now. But I just wonder and question, how long will that last? Because remember, there is still a lot of ground and time that can be made up and done right. If done wrong, it will mess your whole race up. Just hope we're not going Bobby Labonte, Dale Earnhardt Sr. over here at Bristol Motor Speedway in 1999. Coming around turn 1 back in yet again. Hoffert still getting a pretty good run or two off those corners, but it seems like his lap times are not saying the same. Lap times 19.81 were his best, but his last lap was a 19.99 to 19.91 for Keith. Chantel getting a 19.90 out of that bunch. She'll definitely be one of the tougher of the two when it comes to this Stanley goes back into pit road. Looks like he doesn't want nothing to do with causing more issues in his mind tonight, but really it's just an experience down there, folks. It's nothing else but an experience. You never know, what you're getting yourself into or what you're truly dealing with when you jump into the sim. This is a whole different environment, a whole different world from the days of like NASCAR Heat, Wreckfest, Formula One, Gran Turismo, all the great names, all the big stuff out there, even, Forza Horizon, Forza Motorsports. All those, people can say what they want about them being sim or anything like that, but this really is like the peak performance of definition when it comes to trying to figure out how to drive a legit car, how to try to drive one of, if not the fastest things around on so many levels and variations. And if you're an old, and you're really into that kind of stuff, oh no, problems there for the throttle. Chantel loses it right out of turn 4, unfortunately, and frustration continues for the 5. Lost all control. She ends up getting herself in a major problem in territory, but it looks like Hoffert sees opening right there from Keith. Side by side here, Checkmate and Hoffert are going to battle it out here. Taylor versus Hoffert. Now Cindy intervenes once again. Ooh boy. Neither one of these drivers want to give a quit or give any chances up here. Cindy just needing some more points, and she'll pretty much wrap this season up as the winner. Hoffert is in desperation mode. He's only got 2 or 3 races left, and then it's the end. And he knows it. Next week, they're going to a track that I have yet to call in a long, long time. The world-famous North Wilkesboro Speedway will be next on the list. But right now, currently, Cindy is apparently trying to cosplay as Bill Goldberg out here because she's saying to her brother, "You're next," when it comes to passing. Making a big run for it. Problems yet again for Stanley Pottle. I'm not sure what happened there, but he has come to a stop once more. Down around the back straightaway once again here. Checkmate and Cindy. Right now, Cindy getting a better run or two off of her brother. Maybe might be looking at something different here. Strategy plays out for a reason. It does what you need to when you have to here. And that seems to be the case. Checkmate right into the grill, into the rear end there, trying to make a pass around that Shelby GT number 7. I will admit one thing, even though I don't really like driving these Super Late models too much, I will say that the cars themselves look pretty good. Still kind of prefer the old Super Late models, but these cars will do, I think. They're alright. You can see the damage there on that front end of Chantel. She's badly broken down, and her car is hurting. 22, a lot cleaner, looking a little more controlled and under the edge, but still has a long way to go before he can call this one wrapped up. Matthew Hopper in the Havoline 84 right now, trying to make a big position up and trying to make some moves here. Keep ahead of Cindy because they are all down to about the final 25 in a minute. You can see how gently he's coming off those exits though. Cindy just needs one good run and I think she'll catch him. That's the feeling I get between those two, is that one little mistake or one little bobble and a chance to possibly make a pass, and that's all they need. So probably now is this time of anything to figure out how the heck we got these nicknames on some of these drivers. Well, Chief Checkmate Taylor. Checkmate comes from his old PSN name that he used to have on the PlayStation days when we were running him on a Heat. If you go back into our YouTube channel, you can actually find all the NASCAR Heat stuff we did there, where everyone was and what their names were. Obviously, Chantel was nicknamed the Pottles. I was nicknamed the Crusader. That's why I have the nickname I stand with today. I've had a few nicknames, but Crusader, honestly, is probably the one that most people remember me for and they want to stick with. So, Matthew Hoffer, he never really had a nickname, but he was always called Hoffy because that was how he put it in his PSN. And then, of course, Cindy, well, we didn't run with her in the Heat series, but we did nickname her the Closer because of how well she can close out the races and close out a season. And that was obviously done point by the fact that she is one of the only drivers that won on the very first season of Pedal to Metal Racing Leagues of any kind. She was the first Legends race winner. And the funny thing is, she never won a single race. But yet, consistency in finishes, consistency in points, she closed that gap out and won that one by a good few points on the drivers. You know, I talked to her about that a little while ago, you know, what it felt like, what it meant to actually do that. And she's like, well, it was something I never expected, considering I never won any races. But I kept looking at the points, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting closer and closer to actually being on top. And next thing I know, I just get one race in, and that was all I needed. And indeed it was. It was one of those things that she ended up making a hard charge about, making a good run or two with, and you know, that just shows to show you credit where credit's due. Oh my, little bump and run there from Hofford's in by the 7. Todd Tuss in the way of Hofford and Cindy here. This could be dangerous for all three drivers if they're not careful. Todd has to watch his line, watch how he corners off, because if he makes one little mistake or one little issue, Hofford will get into him. A lot of you are probably thinking and scratching your head, well, okay, if he's going to be a lap down, why doesn't he just go the outside line, stay out of the way? Well, as a driver, it's kind of hard. It's easier said to do sometimes. Sometimes you just want to run your race and run hard, but I mean, you also don't want to fall a lap back, especially with the way this run's going tonight. Whoa! Checkmate hard on the corner, and that opens up Hofford's opportunity to make some moves here. But the problem is he's still stuck behind Todd Tuss. Checkmate will now intervene around Cindy the Closer Taylor and take him for a second. Hofford's still dealing with that lap traffic though. Todd Tuss, will that continue to be the factor? Stanley Pottle now on the outside, the 48, staying out of the way, staying out of trouble. Good on him. Give him credit where credit's due, folks. He may be a new driver, but he at least knows the rules of the game. Man, talk about just driving hard, driving quick. No one giving an inch. Nobody wants to make any mistakes here, but at the same time, you know, how do you work around this simple scenario of, you know, one driver in front and then one basically blocking a line to make passes on? See if he's able to get anything going here. Still nothing. If he's going to make a pass, he's going to have to do it in a little bit more of a better spot. Problems there for the throttle Chantel Bottle. Lap cars are going to have a little bit more company here if Chantel doesn't get that thing back up and running. We'll find out here real quick what happened on the PTM instant replay here. See why she had come to a stop in a sudden wreck here. Looks like turn 4 bit her in the dust. The damage on that front end did it in. When you have damage on that car, man, it's hard to get anything to control right. You can see it just slid out, unfortunately, underneath her and nowhere to go. That was your Green Tech Energy PTM instant replay here tonight. As the number 8 acute checkmate Taylor right now trying to possibly get something. 13 laps remain. There is time, but there is not much room to make it. Todd Tuss letting the drivers go and giving them an opportunity to make some moves here, but is it too little too late for checkmate? Well, apparently not. Oh, inside line opening there from Hofford, but checkmate was not able to capitalize. Good Lord, 3 cars involved in this one, looking for a win, looking for the race lead. Cindy really, honestly, she doesn't need the lead. She just wants to stay where she's at and get a position or two in. Hofford probably desperate or two to get one win in before the season comes to an end. But he's going to have a little bit of company because Checkmate's opting to say he wants to win in too tonight. Hofford's momentum is long gone. It's not able to travel far enough. He's lost it. Cindy now and Keith Checkmate Taylor take over positions. It is the reverse double for Mr. Hofford. Back him around once again. Now Cindy looking to take back over the position that her brother took just a minute ago. As we look at the lap times to stretch them out, look at this. Cindy is pulling her old usual. The closer is coming to fruition, is coming to life. There it is out of turn 2. She nails the turn and hits a beautiful run on that. Hofford needs to get back up there with her quickly. So is Keith. Now they're going to battle. That's not good. Cindy is going to leave him. The only way to make a move now is to try to draft on her and hope for the best. I just don't see there being enough time. Not with 9 laps now, 8 laps to go here. That run that Hofford and Checkmate had, man, I just don't, it's just not enough, I don't think. Here we go now, 8 laps remain. All that hard work, all that effort being put to use, but it is not to be vain. Unfortunately, it's not enough in my opinion. It's just, they're not going to have enough time. They're going to try hard though to push. But unless all of a sudden a caution came out, I'm not trying to give a broadcaster curse or anything, but if a caution comes out now, then that'll be the opening those two boys will need. But even then, Cindy's got a fresh set. Oh my goodness! Chantel loses out turn 2. And apparently my broadcaster curse voodoo ritual apparently still has some merit. I don't know how, but it got Chantel there and almost brought out a whole problematic zone there. Still with damage on that front end. What happened here? Comes out of turn 2. Car comes to a sudden halt. She about gets into the 7. Manages to avoid all of them. Good Lord Almighty. Just not the night for Chantel here. And at this point, she's just going to try to stay out of the way. Send to the Golden Taylor and Keith Checkmate may have one last little renewal of battles here. Not quite a duel of fates, but rather a battle of family renaissance. Coming back for that Green Tech Energy. Instant replay right now currently. It's Checkmate trying to get up there to Cindy. Does he have anything left for her? She seems to be giving him something there on the turns, but Cindy is just so good at cornering off. There may be a reason why she is the closer. She's looking to close out another win and another race victory. Looking to take home the season championship trophy at the end of the year. At the end of the racing year for this season. Season 4 though, man, I cannot wait for it. It is coming soon, it's coming quick. So many new things I haven't told you about, so many new things that we haven't even mentioned. And I guarantee you there'll be a lot more drivers around here, just be ready for that. More problems there for the 5. Chantel just continuously having problems, man. This track is just not giving her any love after that first stage. Well, 2 laps to go now, here we go. Cindy just needs to hold on one more time around. The white flag is being shown to her. She knows what she must do. Just needs to pace it back in one more time around out of turn 2. Leading him into the backstretch. And coming out of turn 3 into 4. It's all the closer. Cindy Taylor wins at Martinsville. And that really was a pretty good show to say the least when they got it dialed in, got things figured out. Big battle there to the end. Checkmate finishing 2nd, 3rd to Matthew Hufford, 4th to Lancaster, 5th to Todd Tuss, round out the top 5, and the Pottle camp will have to reevaluate this one. Unfortunately for themselves, this was not the way they were hoping it would turn out to be, but it did end up that way indeed. The race results are now coming in. Here is your race results here, presented by Green Tech Energy. Cindy Taylor wins it. 2nd to Keith Checkmate. 3rd to Matthew Hoffer. 4th to Chad Lancaster. 5th to Jeffrey Todd Tuss. 6th to Chantel Throttle Bottle. And 7th to Stanley Pottle. That will pretty much wrap it up for them there. We'll have a word or two with our drivers. I think I know already that we will not be talking with the 7 here. She will be joining probably at the very end of the season to accept the award and championship when all is said and done, but she is your race winner here tonight nevertheless, so congratulations to her coming away with the W. We'll go ahead and show 2nd place here of Keith Checkmate Taylor. Generally he doesn't come and talk with us either, but we will give him the 2nd place stance, of course. As always on the show, we want to try to give everybody a fair shake at things. And then Mr. Matthew Hoffer coming away with 3rd. He's a bit of a wild card too. He generally likes to come in and chat with us. Haven't seen him yet. We will give him the 1 minute mark countdown. Wait for them to come in. Yeah, for 7 drivers, Martinsville definitely put up a little bit of a fight here. Alright, he joins me in now, ladies and gentlemen. There he is, the 3rd place finisher tonight, Matthew Hofford. And Hofford, you know, you had a pretty good run out of the start and then end up falling back a little bit. And next thing you know, Checkmate and Cindy were just getting you there. Yeah, currently he's got his mic muted right now, guys. It might be just a minute here. I guess while he gets things settled up on his end real quick, we'll let everyone else kind of settle down and get it kind of refocused. But we'll go ahead and give a word to our guys and gals over at McConey Setup Shop, at Matt Mills Racing Team, at Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts, at SimRacingMerch.com, at GridFinder.com, at The Butt Kicker, FEGPC.net, Random Minix Sim Racing, Bottles Wraps, and of course Green Tech Energy. Thank you again to all the sponsors and support here from you guys. And now it looks like Hofford finally has got everything all loaded up on his end. So Hofford, well, now that we got you on the show here, man, talk about that. What a race and a half you pulled off there.
Yeah, had a good fast car and able to lead quite a few laps, and we had a couple cautions there and took every chance I could to get some fresh rubbers, and just had a little tough time getting past the 72 there, and used up some of my tires, and Keith and Sandy capitalized and got around me and couldn't catch them.
I mean, how much of a deal is it with these tires that really you have to try to hold them on and try to keep everything underneath you? Because it seems like with these short tracks especially, these tracks really affect how much speed and grip you get from those runs, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then it also depends on the setup too, and then how you drive. You know, I had a real good short run to like mid-length run, but coming to the long run when you get over about 30 laps, it just fall on the face.
For sure there, but nevertheless, you didn't fall on your face too much because you still pocketed away. We were with third place finish here tonight, so I got to ask you, man, who do you want to thank you for this?
Oh, everybody that ran the night, thank you. PTM Racing TV, PTM Racing League, all friends and family watching at home, and to all of our many sponsors, thank you all, and looking forward to next week.
I appreciate your time here, Hoffy. Congratulations on that third place finish, man.
Thanks, bud.
Matthew Hofford, or old Hoffy as we like to refer to him as, taking away second place. Actually, Keith Checkmate Taylor has joined us here in the booth real quick, so we'll have a word with him, or we were, but then he kind of just jumped out at us there. Well, I was going to have a word or two with him, but apparently not. He decided to leave us, so guess we will call that one a night. So nevertheless, though, as we wrap things up, race fans, thank you again for all the support and all the love you've given us here on the show. Appreciate you guys and seeing you all around here. And hopefully you enjoyed this race and enjoyed all the battles that have come with it. From all of us here at PTM Racing TV, thank you again to the sponsors once again. Thank you again to the fans. And for next time, when the green flag flies, we hope to see you with us. But for now, be safe. God bless. Take care. We love you. We'll see you next time here on PTM Racing TV.